today. He can heal our bodies. There is nothing that the devil can do that God has not already been before us.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I just want to welcome everyone to another episode of Mind Your Monday. I'm so excited about our topic tonight, but before we get to our topic, I need you guys to do three things for me. I need you to like, I need you to share, and I need you to comment. If you're driving, I just need you to put your listening ears on. But tonight we have a great guest tonight. I'm so excited to hear this woman of God talk. Listen, it's gonna get good. So y'all buckle up your seatbelts because we in for a ride. So I got my good friend, a great creative, a wonderful mind, just a great gift in the earth. And her name is Angelique Williams. And I just want to give her a moment just to introduce herself, tell us what she do, tell us where she's from, and just let's get into this. All right.
First, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be before you, everyone that's watching, and I'm honored. My name is Angelique Williams, as he said, and I am the CEO of Let Art Breathe. Let Art Breathe is my business as a photographer, videographer, creator, writer, and more importantly, Let Art Breathe, the lab, is about building our community one artist at a time. One of the things that I do with that portion of my business is I go inside of communities, schools, and I use artistry as a way to express, to heal, and deliver, to build oneself back up again. So I do so many creative things in that element, but that is one part that is really honorable to my heart because it connects with Mind Your Business about using artistry as a form of therapy.
Yeah.
So most definitely. So you can check out so much more on what I do in that space.
All right, Angelique, let's get into this. Today, we're going to be talking about trauma. We're going to be talking about trauma, and we're talking about how it comes about from violence. All right.
Yes.
And, we all have some traumatic experiences that have occurred in our lives. Some, just from different atmospheres, different environments. But today we have some questions and we're going to get some answers. So I believe without a shadow of a doubt, we got the right person to be able to give us answers and, allow us to just reconstruct our mind. And you mentioned
Right.
that's what your movement is. That's what you do. You go in, you resuscitate. You allow dreams to come alive again. You allow people to reconstruct their thinking and recharge their minds, and that's what Mind Your Business is all about. We partner with people that see that in people, that allows them to just go into their minds, go into their thinking, and just bring out the best in them. And so I'm excited tonight. So just tell me this, answer me this question. This is one question right here. As a black woman,
Yes.
In your opinion, based on your knowledge, based on your experience and the things that you have been through, how important do you think it is for you to tend to your mental health? Just being, just in this culture and how we were raised, as a black woman yourself, how important do you think that it is for us to just go for it when our mental health?
I think is essential. I think it's essential as a Black woman because it impacts our thoughts, our behaviors, and our emotions. And unfortunately, society has stereotyped the Black woman's thoughts, emotions, and a lot of times it ties into some mental health, that we may have not taken care of or just being stereotyped in society, period. And as a Black woman, we are very essential to the Black family, not disowning any of our kings, but actually because we talk about the queens right now, understanding the impact that we have on our communities and society and in the Black family. So a lot of times the Black woman's mental health is essential. The one that's raising the children, that's going out uplifting our kings. And so I think the Black woman's mental is important because it's the Black woman's thoughts and how she's going to guide, talk, and also how she's going to raise her children, her kings or her queens that will be in our society in the future. So I think it's very essential as an African American woman to understand the essential aspect of our mental health because it doesn't be attended to that much because we come off as a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we neglect our mental health because we know we have to keep moving.
Wow. Wow, we have to
Yeah.
keep moving. That's something, when you talk about being a strong black woman, that's something that we, is we use interchangeably
Hmm.
with with repressing our emotions,
Oh yes.
with
Oh yes.
repressing our feelings, and we go into situations and. We just keep moving, and we think that we're being strong, and we
Right.
don't know that it is in our weakness that we
Hmm.
become strong. And so we have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. We have to allow ourselves to be susceptible and say, it's okay right now.
Most
I'm not
definitely.
feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, have you ever
Exactly.
had those moments that you just wake up,
Man,
Angelique, and like,
it a lot. I mean, it's the one thing that I had to be honest with myself. It wasn't like I grew up saying I wanted to be a mother of, all my kids, and in the situation that I went into. So as a black woman, that's something we have to start being honest about and speaking up about. I'm not okay. We have to start talking, you know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we cover up a strength, we mask it. We mask our strength and everything else, and we may be the last ones that go to sleep, the last ones to eat, the last ones to rest, and you realize we waking up and the next day has already started again. And I think that's a trend that we need to cut. I always talk about this when I'm teaching, even in the form of artistry. Um, we talk about generational curses and generational wealth, right? The negative and the
right,
positive. And a
yeah,
lot of times I always talk about the generational emotional bondage that we pass on to the next generation.
right,
And one thing as black women, we and we subconsciously pass those practices on to our next generation. And
yeah,
what happens is we are not able to respond well, or instead of reacting. A lot of times we react to situations, to violence, instead of responding,
yeah,
taking those things in, minding our business,
yeah,
in our mind, and assessing the situation to the
yeah,
best way possible. But when you don't have proper tools pertaining to mental health, you just go with the flow. You figure it out.
yeah,
A lot of us has been living through chaos. I thrive in chaos. That's
yeah,
nothing. I live through struggle. So
yeah,
when it comes to things being peace, I kept myself super busy. That's
wow,
not healthy,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
Super busy to not deal with some of the stuff I wanted to deal with.
yeah,
I didn't want to deal with poverty at some points, because some of the seeing the violence that come, when you broke, you seen a lot of stuff growing up.
yeah, yeah,
So you got why the mail is never opened. You don't realize these traumas triggers into other bad habits. And
yeah,
I think it's a subject that we need to talk about and get the health, the mental health, and let sister to sister know it's okay, sis. Let's
yes,
talk about it. You don't have
yes,
to fake and go shopping and spend thousands of dollars. Let's talk about it and get down to the root of it and
yes.
uproot that tree, you know?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely, man. I couldn't agree with you more because it's like, uh, like you said, you alluded to it, like we're just going on and going on and going on,
Hmm.
and we're just skipping what is already like existing. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And when we have to allow ourselves to just, what you said, it's not. I'm not okay. I'm not okay,
I'm
sis.
not okay.
Now it don't mean that I won't be okay.
Right.
That's not interchangeable. So it's not when I say right now, I
Right
don't
now,
feel okay. I don't
I ain't
feel okay.
feeling it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
listen, and it don't mean you weak. Like I will, like out and or crazy, right? So
yeah,
I may have been down, crying, and I got it out and I vented. I always tell people to vent up.
yeah,
That's what I was told. Vent up. Don't vent
yeah,
down to someone who's catering to your feelings. We're trying to get this out and get you on the right path, get your
yeah,
mind back, reset your mind back. And
yes,
so
yes,
I will be, a moment of weakness, but and I get that out and I feel the strength. I feel God renewing my mind. I feel him renewing my emotions. I feel him get me on the right track. So now I've got my source and strength and my tools, and now I can operate differently. It don't mean I was weak. It
yeah,
means that I took that moment, I released it, and
yeah,
now I can be poured back into. But when
yeah,
we don't talk about it, like we
yeah,
talked about before, we got that horrible saying in our culture: what happens in a house stays
stays.
in a
Yeah,
house. That
yeah,
silence, we got to cut that,
yeah,
because what
yeah,
happens is we're not talking.
yes,
We're not
yes,
talking.
yes, yes,
And we have to create a space that people feel safe. Like, I love what you're doing, that they can talk about it. You
Absolutely,
know,
absolutely. You have to open up your mouth. You have to open up your
have
mouth.
to.
And I know we alluded to this in one of our conversations that we've had
Right.
before, and that is about faith and confession. And I mean, we're psychological here, but we're as well
Right.
as spiritual.
Right.
And there is 100% of our faith walk with God is based on confession. And,
Yes.
and it takes you to open up your mouth to confess. And so that's
Have
all
to.
areas in life. And so if I am harboring something, I have to be able to release. I have to be able
Hmm.
to release. If I can make this illusion to make it better for our viewers, and I want y'all talking in the comments because
Yes.
we want to see what y'all think. If I can make this illustration, if you ever had to go get gas in a gas can, and
Right.
you ever ran out of gas, you put the gas in there, okay? And if you ever go to put the gas into the lawnmower, say if you put it in a lawnmower, if you put it in the car,
Right.
you ever go put the
Hmm.
gas into, if you do not pop the valve that's on the back to allow a releasing point,
To
then the
flow.
gas is going, the flow is not going to,
It's
man, that's
not
a
gonna happen.
revelation. That's a
Yeah.
revelation, yo. The
No.
flow is not going to be there. You
No
know,
matter
so
how hard you
yeah,
worked to go up
yeah,
there to fill yourself up, you have to take, and it's so important because I'm really understanding that your mind is what takes you. Like, I think, like our other conversation we talked about, we are spirit, we have a soul, and
yes,
we live in this body. So our
yes.
soul is our will, our mind, and our emotions, but it
Yes.
has to be anchored from our spirit, not our
Yes.
body controlling us, tell us what to do. We tell it what to do. So you say,
Yes.
mind, get in order.
Yes.
Body, get in order. I control
Yes.
my will. I control my emotions. When you understand and identify with that, you can
Yes.
change the world. And so that
Absolutely.
means when you suffer violence and those traumatic events, I know now I can control that. That was a situation I was out of control, right? When we
Yes.
were, you may have been young and experienced and seen those violent things like I did,
Yes.
or like I did myself, also experience violence. So when
Yes.
that happens, I now say, okay, I cannot let this situation control me. I have to now control the situation.
There
That's
you
my
go.
power. That's
Yes.
my power. You have
Yes.
power over your mind. Your mind don't have power over you. And
Yes.
sometimes we identify ourselves as victims and
Yeah.
not victorious, because I,
Yes.
I identify myself as a victim so long.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I'm victorious over it. And your
Yes.
imagination, I talk about imagination a lot because, of course, I'm a creator, and
Yes.
I create from the imagination. Our imagination right now, someone can be watching this right now, and you can imagine a time that was such a violent time in your childhood, your life, and you can feel, and it triggers emotions,
Yes,
right?
it does.
And those
Hmm.
emotions only from your imagination. So think how powerful your imagination can be if you start manifesting the things that you want to see in your life,
Yes.
that you want to change. That
Yes.
same power that can take you back into
Yes.
depression is the same power that can propel you forward to your purpose.
Yes. Go,
And
man.
that's
No,
minding your business.
man, listen, let me tell you. Woo, I got an organ in the back. I can go turn it up real quick because I know you on key. You on key, my sister. You're on key. Hey,
Yes.
listen, this is the listen. I can't wait to get to this part because we've had our side discussions, we had our talks
Right.
and all of that, and you shared some things with me, which one of the things that empowered me to reach out to you and say, hey, can you come join us on this show, because the world needs to hear what you have to say. The world
Right.
needs to hear your testimony.
Thank you.
And I'm excited to hear this portion
Whew.
of it. And if y'all are just now tuning in, y'all coming in for the good part. All right. And if y'all have been tuned in from the beginning to this now, I thank you for holding on, because now we about to get to the meat of this, because I want to hear your experience, your testimony with violence, and how
Man.
how trauma came from that violent act, and then give us answers to how you cope with this and how you allowed yourself to propel. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. I'm
Oh
excited.
man, I'm so honored to be before every one of you to tell this testimony. Well, this is not too long ago. For those of you who have may experience violence, dealing with trauma. In April of 2021, this year, I was robbed at gunpoint. And I'm not talking about just one gun, I'm talking about three. I was actually in the privacy of my own home in my driveway. So, for all those mothers out there, because, sometimes, especially single mothers, we don't get that time. So, we sit in the driveway and we, kind of resuscitate ourselves before we go in with our kids. And, I was sitting in the car on the phone, and long and behold, my driveway was blocked, and three young African Americans jumped out the car, surrounded my car with guns everywhere. Um, it was a very, it was almost surreal. It was like, this is not happening to me. I'm God's anointed. I'm his child. Dad, what's going on? Especially a woman of faith. I'm like, why is this happening to me? And so the guy was pointing his gun, and it's so, I didn't say this part before when I was talking to you, but the guy whose gun was in my face, um, he had, I know this gonna sound crazy, but he had a little compassion. They was taking my keys, my purse. Don't ask me how my phone stayed in my hand, but my phone stayed in my hand. And so he was like, give me your keys. And I hurried up and I grabbed my keys, and I was trying to take my keys off, and I was shaking, and I just threw them at him. And thank God my sons wasn't in the car with me. And I hurried up, I jumped out the car. Now, mind you, I am at my home. I jumped out the car, ran in my neighbor's pickup truck, and I laid flat on his truck. They were yelling to tell me to come back. I just prayed. I called on Jesus, and I just laid flat. The guys and whoever else, it was actually five guys, because two of them stayed in the car. And they hurried up and drove off in my car, and three of them in the other, and they rode off. I can't even think in that moment or speak. And I called my daughter and my pastor at that time of Cleveland Believe Center, Nicole Reynolds and Apostle Timothy Reynolds, and they came over. I was in such a state of shock. I only seen gun barrels. Everybody looked like a gun barrel. I was shaking. I was cold. I felt like I was losing my mind, and why I almost died. I kept saying I was about to die. No, so when you don't handle past traumas or things that you've experienced in your life, a situation like this was came to take you out, and you may have experienced it. And I never forget, my pastor, Prophet Nicole Reynolds. She looked me in my face and said and told me, "He can't take your life." And it snapped me out of it. It was not your time. He can't take your life. And in that moment, because I was about to go in, I almost died, and I was sinking. I felt myself going down. And when she spoke those words, she immediately gave me a tool to renew. She kept saying it, and she looked me in my face. And at that time, we prayed that everything would come back. I had just came from an event, so I lost my clients' videos and pictures, and all my MacBook. I just had my birthday, so all my purses, everything was in there. Everything was gone. My whole business, everything was from my business was in there, because I just came from the building. And so that flashed before, but more importantly, my life. And I never forget that moment. And we prayed, and I believe God, and of course they stayed. And the unfortunate part about it is I definitely wanted some type of therapy, but I did want the therapist to look like me. I wanted to be spiritually based. I had my pastors, and they did well, but unfortunately, I couldn't even find a therapist. So thank God that I had my pastors in that
Yes.
time to continue to, I mean, it was almost daily. My daughter, it's important who around you, because it was everybody constantly reminding me it wasn't your time, and for me not to see in that depression state.
Yes.
I dealt with anxiety. I had a very bad anxiety attack at the gas station when four boys came up just to get gas, and I'm shaking and couldn't breathe. I was traumatized. That violence, not only me as a Black mother of a Black son, I now have to possibly be a witness against another person who looks like my son, a mother who's looking like me, I may go to jail. It was so many different aspects that just triggered. And I thank God, even though everything was stolen, it was an awesomeness in it. We prayed and asked God for all my stuff. 3 weeks. So the next day, my purse showed up. I was like,
Woo.
praise him. I just got that purse, right? My Mark Davis purse, my sister got me that for my birthday. And then, because we kept praying, we prayed, and then we gonna get it in the name by faith. And I was speaking it. So at work, they was calling me, because I'm a, educator, I'm a teacher, I'm a fine arts teacher. So they was like, oh, it's been 3 weeks. And I'm like, I believe God. I kept saying it. I kept saying it. On the third week, the detective called me. And he said, now, mind you, it only took them 60 seconds to affect me the way
Yes.
it did.
Yes.
60 seconds. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
1 minute.
1 minute. It was less, matter of fact, it was less than 60 seconds, because I actually had a camera. So I was able to see. And just also, let me sidebar, for all those women, really go in the house straight after house, because when I looked on my camera, they drove past 3 times. When I looked on my
Wow.
camera, they actually drove past 3 times before they actually jumped out. So that was something for me to be more aware of. But the detective, let me go back. So the detective called me, and my friend said at my job, she was like, you is really believe. I said, I am. Detective called me. This is 3 weeks in. Come to find out, they found my car right after the robbery happened. So it was sitting there. They parked it. It's all, I believe that was nothing but the angels. They parked my car. Somebody reported it sitting out in front of their house for these weeks. And so the police had it, and that district then talked to the next district. And so they finally got my car. And so as I was going to the impound lot, I spoke it and I kept confessing it. When I say it was not a scratch on my car, not a dent, it was still gas in my tank. That's how I know they
Ha.
ain't drive too far. And when
Ha.
I opened up that trunk, every piece of equipment, it wasn't even touched. I'm talking about a MacBook Pro 2021, the iPad, everything was this year. My camera, everything was still in its place. It did not get nothing touched. And I know that was nothing but God. And then when I had to testify, I told God I did not want to testify against the young man. It's not that I wouldn't. I didn't want to. I walked past his mother. She looked like me. Like she just trying to raise who knows what type of violence. So I don't know the backstory, but it's like my heart felt, but I felt for me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the judge came out. The lady came out when I was sitting him there, and she said 30 minutes go past. She said, you don't have to testify. He admitted to guilt.
Wow.
When I say God did it, when I say when you align your mind up, word, it
Yeah.
flows.
Yeah.
And that's why I know, given the proper tools, one of the tools that they had me to remember is I had to focus on my strengths. That was one of the things. I had to really focus on my strengths and who I
Mm.
was. Now, I identified, like I said before, as a victim, but see the
Mm.
victoriousness of it that I came out of. I
Sure.
also
Sure.
had to understand to be solution based in my thinking. Where's this thinking going to take me? Is it going to take me further, or do I stay here? Not to
Yes.
even say to this day, sometimes I may be in situations, a shadow passed me and I jump, and I'm like,
Yes.
we strong in Christ, not of my strength. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But in him. And then I had to think about my future instead of reviewing past of all those hurts and those experiences. I had to get away from that. I will always say, you know how we say we go through? I had to
Yeah.
realize it's cut that I'm already out. I went through.
Wow.
My own words is telling me I went through a lot. Key
Yeah.
word, through it. Maybe you're
Yeah.
not there anymore. So now we got
Yeah.
to master not taking our mind back there,
Yeah.
you know? And I had to
Yeah.
focus on my life instead of the illness of what happened to me. I thank
Wow.
God, man. When I say I'm really thankful for Cleveland Believe Center, and just I called them my riders. That's what I said. They was
Nah.
my
Yeah. For sure.
sharpshooters
Your
in
writers.
prayer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
equipping the faith-based communities with these tools to understand how to cope with violence, I think is essential. It's
Absolutely.
so essential because
Yes.
I was able to be around a group of people that was able to help me and remind me. Some
Yes.
people, we know it. You know what I'm saying? And for those
Yes.
of you who may have experienced violence as watching this, talk about it. I
Yes.
have days where I be like, man, my life flash before my eyes again. And I
Yeah.
just keep it talking about it, and to make sure I'm sharing it to not just help myself to understand you are not alone.
Yeah.
You don't have to be alone at
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah, yeah. I hope y'all watching, man. I hope y'all in this. I need y'all to share this, because this is amazing. I mean, listen at this testimony. This woman just experienced a traumatic event.
Yeah. Tuning in live. Mind your business.
All right, I'm sorry, y'all. We had some technical difficulties. Angelique, where are you? Are you still with us? I know we probably lost a lot of viewers, but I want y'all that are still in. I want y'all to share this. Let everybody know we back. Are you still with us, Angelique?
There you go. Can you hear me?
Oh my goodness, yeah, I
I
can hear you
can't hear
very well
you.
now. You cannot hear me. Okay. All right, let's fix that.
How you? Hold on.
All right, how about now? Can y'all hear me out there?
Okay. I don't know
Can
if
you
you
hear
can
me
hear
now?
me, but I can't hear you right now.
All right, you
No.
cannot. All right, let's try this again. Hold on one second, guys.
I can read lips good, so I hear you saying 1 second.
Hold on one second.
It's okay. Technical difficulties happen. That's all right.
They do.
I'm
They
telling you,
do. They
somebody
do.
gonna be delivered off of that.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yes, there
All
we
right.
go. That's all right.
All right, there we go. I got a good tech team. I got a good tech team. But
Okay.
listen, this is it. This is it. This is it. We testimony. All right. If y'all are still in, I need y'all to please come back in. Come back in. Come back in. If you're coming in, reshare this. Reshare this. We ain't gonna be defeated right here because this testimony got to get
Right.
out to the world. We are not gonna be defeated. All right. Come back in. So
Right.
here we are. We at testimony. And so we heard this. We heard that you recovered everything that you thought that you had lost. And that's something
Everything.
because in the middle of what we're going through, I just wanted you, let me refill you guys in that you may have lost the concept of what we were talking about. This woman was robbed at gunpoint. She was robbed at gunpoint by 5 African American men. Y'all hear me? 5 African American men. And it was traumatizing. I mean, it was
Very.
so many things that were going on, right? There's so many things going on through your mind.
Yeah.
God, you left me. God, you're not here for me. I'm vulnerable. You got me at this time in my life where I feel like, I'm doing good. And then boom, somebody takes something from me. I mean, just
Right.
ripped everything up. And so you're feeling vulnerable. You're feeling defeated. You're feeling like
My
you've been left.
peace.
Your peace has just eroded. I mean, you feeling
Hmm.
like you're just abandoned. I mean, how many people
I
have ever
did.
felt like that? I mean, if you're watching here, I mean, can you attest to that? Things are going on in my mind when all these things are happening in my life. But I
Hmm.
remember having a conversation with you, Angelique, and you said that Prophetess Reynolds, I believe, or someone told you, someone that's significant in your life told you that it happened to your body. It didn't
Oh
happen to
yes,
your mind, right? Yeah,
yes. It was a pastor. He said, and it really delivered me with other different mental, different types of abuse that happened to me. That's
yeah,
why this violent one was just like the worst. It felt like I was
yeah,
being raped of my peace, especially in my home. He told me, he was saying out as he was speaking, he said it didn't happen, it happened to your body. It didn't
yeah,
happen to you. And I didn't understand what he meant. He said, we are spirit. We have a soul, and we live in a body. It happened to your body, not to your spirit, the very thing that who you are. Because when
yeah,
we leave this earth, that ship will still be there. So what
yeah,
happens is we fighting against principalities in high places.
yeah,
And when I think about that, I had to tear it down. I had to tear those thoughts down. I had to tear those experiences down. I had to tear those images down. I had to build a new house. This is who I am. I had not to identify with this stuff. I had to
yeah,
get back into my identity. I had to be healthy in my coping. I didn't need just it's gonna be okay. I needed you to tell me how is it gonna get better. Number
yeah,
one, you got to start with your thinking. You got to
yeah,
look at your circle. If it's not being supporting for you to move forward, then you have to think about that. That was one of the tools. You
yeah,
had to be start talking about it. You're
yeah,
not wrong, or God don't love you, and you're not weak because you feel this place of vulnerability.
yeah,
I had to mature in my thinking. I had to be okay with, like you said earlier, being just vulnerable, open. And I had to be okay with saying that I don't feel good today.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I know yesterday I've been, or these last 6 months I've been good. Today I don't feel good.
yeah,
Having that healthy place and not taking back from who I am, because a lot of times I think people don't understand that healing is ours. We have to receive it. Um, the Bible talks about we are overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and every word of our testimony. When
everywhere.
we don't
Yes,
speak about this stuff, it's
yes,
not just me being overcome, but sharing your story with somebody else. Somebody may be watching this like, I got robbed. I watched abuse growing up, violent crimes going up, what made me insecure with my family, with police, with myself, with another loved one, and we build these walls. Well, I had to learn how to tear down these walls
yeah,
and make sure that something doesn't come back in and tell me that this is you. You are a victim of this. No, you are victorious over this. Now tell somebody else that they can be too.
yeah, 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 yeah. And you know what? And you spoke something. You spoke something. And one of our other conversations, which is why I had to get you on here, Angelique, because you speaking so much life, and you still are now. And you said something that Prophetess Reynolds and Apostle Timothy Reynolds. Shout out to your pastors because they are awesome.
Yes, CBC,
Yeah, I love your
Cleveland Believe
pastors, man.
Center.
They are so great. They really produce
Yes.
great people, and so I shout out to them. But they said something about your faith. All right,
Oh,
your
yes.
faith and your belief. I mean, bring that out to the
Oh,
people. We gonna
yes.
leave out of
So
here. I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
Yes. So it's so awesome because I teach, also there at Cleveland Believe Center. So one of the things that we always say is when you come into Christ and your salvation, a lot of people you, you gotta work out your faith like your muscles. Meaning you
Yeah,
already have faith. Everyone was given the same measure of faith, but people don't operate in that faith. So a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
times it's not really a faith problem, it's a belief problem. We
Yes,
don't believe. We
yes,
don't believe that we can be healed. Because think about it, he died. That means we don't gotta ask for forgiveness. It's ours. We don't have to ask for forgiveness. It's ours. We have to believe in being healed. It's a
yeah,
belief problem. We don't
yeah,
believe that we will be set free. We don't believe that our mind can be changed. We don't believe that all power and authority is in your hands.
Yes.
You can change your family generations. You can change this situation of violence that
Yes.
happened. You can change it in this very moment because you choose to. I believe I can. So it's a
Yes.
belief problem right now. We got a lot of
Yes.
people who got faith, but believing is a total different thing. We got to believe in ourselves. We got to believe in the power of God and believe that these tools can help change your life when you mind your business.
Don't start nothing. It won't be nothing.
I work that.
Don't start nothing. It won't be nothing. Don't start nothing. It won't be nothing. Listen,
Right. So,
Angelique, listen, you can go from trauma to triumph.
yes.
You can go from violence to victory, right?
Yes.
I mean, and it's just y'all excuse my son if y'all hear him. He has his own thing that he does. But listen, you can go from trauma to triumph,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right. Before we get out of here, I want to hear. Give us some more answers on how you have turned your trauma to work for you and not against you.
Well, awesome. Number one, I had to get out of fear. You have
Mm.
to get out of fear because fear will cause you to be whatever. It has no identity. Fear will turn you into whatever. So number one, I had to get out of fear. And number two, one of the things that I do is I put it into my artistry. I
Yeah.
create atmospheres and I create product or I create an outlet to be able to create, to speak about it.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that you have to get it out. And so
Yeah.
those are some of the ways that I cope with it. I put it into my artistry, into my artwork.
Okay.
I listen to music. I make sure my atmosphere is set,
Yeah.
so I cope with it. I don't live with it.
Oh.
I control
Yeah.
it. It does not control me. So
Yeah.
that means
Yeah.
even from my experience that happened under 60 seconds, you go see a film come out 60 seconds, you will have something. I always say silent cries. We got to cut out the silence. We got to
Yeah.
quit walking around thinking like in a comatose state, existing and not living,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what I do is I put all of that and make sure that it's a way that can cause people to think. So I
Yes.
create with mine. You may
Yes.
be listening. You may create with yours. You may be putting it into some type of create ability or your work. You got to be the purpose that you want to be. I wanted to be the answer. Like you
Yeah.
said, she got some answers. God, I want to be an answer. So
Yeah.
whatever has happened in my life, let me learn from it and let me be an answer to my brother, to my sister, that this violence where I have to control them, it do not have to be passed on. I don't have to fear that my son's going to be coming or be victims of it. Being afraid of that. I had to take control of it and understand
Yes.
that, like I said before, being victorious in this situation. I
Yeah.
use it. It's mine now. The devil
Yeah.
meant for bad, God meant for my good. I'm going to work this and I'm going to
Facts.
show the world that we can be something as a Black woman who experienced very traumatic events. And I had to mind my business and I'm working it in my business. For real. Let art breathe. I resuscitate the community with artistry and telling stories and building content. So yes, I let art breathe. So I use it for my advantage. Now it's my
Yeah.
tools. You ain't about to
Yeah.
use it against me.
Hey, you better believe it. You better believe it. Listen, Angelique, listen, this has been so refreshing. This has been so encouraging. I'm overwhelmed. Because not even overwhelmed. I'm just full. I'm full. I'm
I
full. I'm full.
know,
I'm full.
right?
I'm full. I'm full.
I hope they take something from it
Yeah.
and really understand that you are not alone in this.
Facts.
You're not alone.
Facts. Facts.
You
That's
got
right.
people who
That's right.
experienced it. You got people who are going through it, and
Yeah.
you take it one day at a time, but you take it,
Yeah.
and you don't. It's like, what's the story in the Bible? He kept his hand on his thigh. Can't
Yeah.
think of it. He was wrestling, and
Yeah.
he ain't
Yeah.
let go till he
That's
got it.
Jacob.
You got to be the woman. Yes, you got to be
Yeah.
the one with the issue of blood too, and you got to
Yeah.
touch the hem of his garment. You get
Yeah.
your breakthrough. You
I'm
get your
telling you.
freedom.
I'm
And
telling
it
you.
always starts in your mind. That's where it try
Right.
to trick you up,
Facts.
making you think you less than who you are and you
Yeah.
strong. You a
Yeah.
child of the king.
Yeah.
Ain't
Better
nobody
know who
got
you
nothing on
are.
you.
Facts. Facts. I'm a creator connected to the ultimate creator.
Ultimate creator.
Yeah,
Shoot.
yeah, I am the
Yes.
creator. Yes, yes. So listen, Angelique. Thank you so much. I hope
Thank
everyone
you.
that have watched this have learned something. I hope you guys have been empowered. Go, tend to your mental health. All right. It
Yes,
is it
please.
listen, it makes you a beautiful person. You're already beautiful. But listen, it
Yes,
helps embellish that beauty that is already in you. All right. It's okay. Open up your mouth. It's okay. Talk, express, because you need to get that out because you want to be your fullest, you want to be your best self. All right.
yes,
And you can't do that just repressing and holding things in, thinking you have to be
yeah.
strong for everybody. No, no, no. You don't have to be strong for everybody. You can be weak because in your weakness, God said that's when His strength is made perfect in you.
Yes, come
So you
on.
can be vulnerable. You can fall. Allow yourself to to fall because God said He is close to the broken and He's close to the brokenhearted. He mends us all together. And listen. I don't want to get too deep or go into
I
this
know,
too
right? You
much
about to
because
preach.
we'll
I was
be
about
here.
to shout.
Man, listen, we'll be here for an hour and a half, and I can't hold
Yes.
these people that long. Listen, but we're gonna have you on
Hmm.
again. Angelique, tell us how can we contact you? How can we get in touch with you? Connect
You
with you?
can.
I can't hear you, Angelique. If you're talking, I cannot hear you. Did you go mute? I still can't hear you. Tech team, can you hear? I don't know if we lost your mic. Did we lose your mic? Keep talking until we can hear you. Let's see. Oh, that's all right. She coming back in. She coming back in. Uh, all right, here we go. Hold on. I can't hear you yet. I see you talking, but I can't hear you. That's all right, y'all. Listen, y'all. We going forth with this. I, I can't hear you yet. I can't hear you yet. But it is all right. It is all right. It is all right. Because I believe that everything that was supposed to be said was said today. I don't know if any of you on here, um, if any of you that are watching knows Angelique. But if you know her to be a good gift. You know her to be a great person. I want you guys to follow her. Follow her at Angelique underscore WMS. All right. Angelique underscore WMS. I want you guys to follow her on her IG. Look her up on Facebook. Angelique Williams. And you guys follow her, get connected with her. Let Art Breathe. That is the name of her brand, her movement, her company at Let Art Breathe. Follow her company on Instagram. You guys are going to be seeing her a lot. If you guys are not seeing her in person, you guys are going to be seeing some of her work because we partnered and she allowed herself to partner with M.Y.B. and it's just going to be a great thing. So we're excited. We're thankful for her. I thank all of you. We can't allow this to happen without you guys, without our viewers. Through all of our technical difficulty, I just believe that what was said was supposed to be said. And I believe that our voice reached the ears that it was assigned to today. And so we're so thankful. If you guys want to partner with us, please feel free to partner with us. I want you guys to believe God tonight. Believe God. Believe God. I want you guys to partner with us and try God in this faith movement right here and partner with us with a $10 donation. A $10, we like to say seed in church. I don't care what you call it. But I want you guys to partner with us if you can and if you will, because we want more of these things to happen. We want to implement mental health in a culture that has not seen it done like this before. And we want to make sure that we have the tools. Y'all see all of this that we're doing right now? We couldn't do this without your help. You guys have made this possible. So we want you guys to, by faith, believe with us. Sow into this, give into this, give your time. You guys are giving your time, your wonderful, undivided attention to what we're doing. And we're so grateful to everything that you guys have done for us because we could not do this without you. And so, you guys, by faith, partner with us. A $10 seed. If you guys need to know the way to give and to partner with us, it is at the bottom of your screen. If you guys want to partner with it and say, hey, I want to know every time y'all going live, every time y'all streaming, I want you guys to text MYB fam to 94253. Y'all hear that? M.Y.B fam to 94253. You guys will get mobile alerts whenever we go live, whenever we're showing new content, whenever we're streaming services or streaming movements or talk shows or whatever. You guys will be right there because guess what? You guys are our family. Yeah, y'all connected to what we're doing. We're connected to who you are, and we just all just all unified. And I love it like that. So I want you guys to partner with us, if you will. Text again 94253 M.Y.B fam to 94253. Hey, next week we have a great discussion set for you guys. I ain't gonna tease you with it yet, but I'm just gonna be posting it and we're gonna be showing you guys everything that we're doing. We're not gonna hide anything that we're doing, but we want you guys to see everything. We want you guys to know that everything that you're doing with us in partnership, that you guys are sowing into good ground. I love y'all. Y'all please be sure to tune in next week to another episode of Mind Your Mondays. Until then, mind your business. Peace.